In the heart of the Far East, in a land known for its immense cultures and traditions, lies a story that transcends time. Japan, the country that gave the world samurais, tea ceremonies, and Zen gardens, conceals within its shadows another, far more mysterious figure, the ninja. But how much do we really know about these shadowy warriors? Is our knowledge merely a shadow of fabricated stories shaped by books, movies, and comics of the 20th century? Most of what we know about ninjas is not entirely based on facts. There is something irresistibly mysterious about them that the Western world cannot ignore. But how well do we really know them? We have delved deep into some of the strangest facts about ninjas to shed light on the dark corners of their obscured past. In the secretive depths of ancient Japanese texts hides a special term that has been used for centuries to describe those elusive figures from the shadows. The term was Shinobi, or Shinobi no Mono. This fascinating phrase, which carries the very essence of invisibility and secrecy at its heart, existed long before the world knew ninjas as we imagine them today. At its roots, Shinobi means to disappear or to hide, while Mono simply means person, thus symbolizing an individual shrouded in secrecy. Interestingly, the term ninja evolved from the adaptation of Japanese kanji characters read in Chinese. But this expression did not take hold in Japanese culture until later in the 21st century, adding yet another layer of mystery and evolution to the legends surrounding these enigmatic figures. Through the centuries, Japanese society harbored a deep-rooted disdain for the dark art of espionage, considering it unworthy of the honor and integrity they cherished. Even though the methods of the ninjas were considered beneath the dignity of true samurais, who regarded respect and honor as the highest virtues, there were always dirty jobs that needed to be done, and samurais were content that there was someone else willing to undertake these tasks. In fact, it was not uncommon for samurais to directly hire ninjas for jobs that would otherwise compromise the samurai's honor. This attitude towards espionage was unwavering until the arrival of the 13th century, when the dynamics of power and political games began to change, slowly but surely elevating espionage to a more significant position within social structures. It was within this time frame that early traces of ninjas began to emerge, but remained unrecorded until their appearance in the monumental work of Japanese literature, the war epic Taiheki. In this classic saga, the story tells of incredibly capable ninjas who managed to destroy entire castles with their skill and cunning, marking a dramatic moment in history and culture. Only 100 years after the initial records, the art of espionage experienced a kind of renaissance within the borders of Japan, where ninjas took center stage as protagonists of this dark and secretive wave. In this new era, ninjas were not just mysterious figures hidden in the shadows. They became key players on the chessboard of Japanese political and military strategy, secret weapons who shaped the course of history from the depths of invisibility. At the dawn of the 15th century, as medieval winds spread across Japan, two villages, hidden in the deep forests and mystical hills of the Iga and Koga regions, began to shape a future that would remain woven into legend forever. These quiet and peaceful settlements were not ordinary villages. They became the cradles of one of the most mysterious and fascinating skills of the Far East, the art of the ninja. In these secluded areas, generations of families began to lovingly and devotedly pass on the secrets and skills of shinobi life, from father to son, from mother to daughter, weaving a rich tapestry of invisible war and tactics. Ninja families that emerged from these secluded enclaves were not ordinary warrior lineages. They were the embodiment of discipline, secrecy, and unparalleled mastery. Their dedication to the art of ninjutsu quickly elevated them above the rest, placing them on a pedestal as the most professional and skilled ninjas known to man. Their techniques, disguises, and strategies were so advanced that anyone else who dared claim to possess ninja skills, beside them, appeared no more than ordinary street thugs. The skill and reputation of the Iga and Koga clans did not go unnoticed. Japanese lords, aware of the depth and power that these ninja clans possessed, quickly began to seek them out, eager to utilize their unique abilities for their own ends. Thus, for generations, these families became central pillars in the power games and intrigues that shaped feudal Japan. Their services were so valued that they often decided the outcomes of battles and wars, making them not just masters of shadow, but also secret forgers of history. However, as often happens with all great powers, envy and fear arose. Their dominance and influence did not go unnoticed among competing warlords. These two powerful ninja dynasties eventually found themselves targeted by devastating campaigns led by a rival warlord, whose goal was to break their power and influence. These brutal campaigns nearly completely destroyed the reputable clans of Iga and Koga, leaving behind only an echo of former glory and power, but a story that would survive for centuries, echoing through the silence of Japan's historical forests. Even after the fall of the ninja clans, they continued to be highly sought after as specialists in covert operations. Only as Japan moved towards more peaceful times did the number of ninjas begin to decline. In the era when ninjas tread the dark paths of Japan, their reputation as masters of secret skills and invisible arts grew day by day. Among the weapons often associated with these mysterious warriors are the throwing stars, known as shuriken. These star-like blades, which were symbols not only of martial artistry but also of deep cultural heritage, are often attributed to ninjas in stories and legends that have crossed the borders of Japan. However, when we delve deeper into authentic sources and surviving ninja manuals, we discover that reality may be different from popular fiction. Evidence supporting the regular use of shuriken by ninjas is surprisingly scarce. Although it cannot be denied that ninjas used an impressive arsenal of specialized tools and weapons designed for espionage, sabotage, and escape, the role of throwing stars in their arsenal was not as we often imagine. Contrary to historical records, shuriken were more commonly associated with the samurai class, used in various forms and for different purposes. Interestingly, despite their popularity in modern culture, shuriken were not primarily used for lethal attacks, as one might assume. Instead, their actual use was much more subtle and tactical. They often served as means of distraction or diversion, allowing the ninja to manipulate the senses of the opponent, create temporary confusion, or secure precious seconds needed for escape or transition to attack. In the world of ninjas where discretion was key, shuriken were more than just weapons. They were tools for survival, hidden within deep layers of strategy and deception. Therefore, while throwing stars retain their place in folklore and popular culture as iconic symbols of ninjas, the actual history of their use provides a more complex picture. It reminds us that the real world of ninjas was much more than mere battles and weapons. It was a world where mind, tactics, and intelligence were the strongest tools in the arsenal of every shinobi warrior. Despite widespread belief, the dress code of ninjas was founded on subtlety and practicality, far from the stereotypical depictions in complete blackness. These mysterious night warriors, known for their invisibility and tactical wisdom, followed a set of strictly defined rules that shaped their clothing. But these rules were far wiser and more considered than simple fashion demands. At the heart of their dressing philosophy lay one basic principle: clothing must serve the shinobi, not the other way around. The rule of silence was of utmost importance. Every piece of armor, every piece of clothing, was carefully chosen and adjusted to ensure it did not produce sounds that could betray the presence of the ninja. The secret of their silence ranged from the way fabrics were fastened to special materials that minimized movement noises. This approach to dressing was the foundation of their ability to move soundlessly, transforming them into ghosts of the night, elusive and unpredictable. The clothing that ninjas chose for their missions was not a predetermined uniform, but was a reflection of a deep understanding of the environment and mission needs. In moonless nights, dark robes became their cloak of invisibility, while in full moon nights, white garments provided perfect camouflage. This thoughtfulness in selecting colors and fabrics allowed ninjas to blend with the environment, becoming one with the night landscape. During the day, the story of their disguise became even more complex. Ninjas masterfully chose clothing that matched the current fashion trends and social expectations, making them indistinguishable in a crowd. Their ability to transform into ordinary citizens, whether it be traders, monks, or beggars, was crucial in carrying out their secret missions. This skill of disguise was not just a matter of choosing the right clothing, it was an art that required a detailed understanding of social roles, customs, and behavior. In this way, dressing for ninjas was not just a matter of style or tradition, but a key element of their strategy and survival. Every stitch, every piece of fabric, every change of color had its meaning and purpose, woven into the fabric of their broader strategy of survival and success. In a world where light could be an enemy and shadows the best ally, ninjas understood the power hidden in the art of inconspicuous existence. Mia University has brought back the study of ninjas to IGA almost 500 years after the IGA ninja clans were destroyed. But students will not learn how to become ninjas. Instead, the master's degree in ninja studies is focused on the history of ninjas, with a few topics on various ninja skills. However, this did not prevent the program's first graduate from dedicating himself to practicing martial arts and living a life as close as possible to the authentic ninja way of life. The difficulty in finding accurate information about ninjas lies in two factors. They were secretive, and their specialization was considered less honorable than that of the samurais, therefore it was dedicated less academic interest. They will remain shrouded in mystery for some time, but we hope that over time we will learn more and more about them. While the truth about ninjas may still be shrouded in mystery, their presence in culture and history remains indelible. As researchers continue to uncover layers of their existence, the legends of the shinobi remain, reminding us that sometimes what hides in the shadow is just as important as what we see in the light of day. And so the story of the ninjas, of the shinobi, of the ghosts who walk in silence continues, a whisper that echoes through eternity.